Welcome to Conscious Living Collective, a transformative journey in consciousness with a community of like-minded people. My name is Tomek. I'm a scientist and a teacher, and in this live session, we blend the latest in scientific research, the deep wisdom of mindfulness, and the art of fulfilled living. As always, this is an invitation for you to have your own first-hand direct experience and emerge on the other side with a renewed sense of purpose and well-being. Welcome to today's session of Conscious Living Collective. Very good to be here and very good to see you here. And as always, I will start with acknowledging the members of our wonderful collective. Hello, Pavane. Hello, Anne. Hello, Diane. Starting with my wonderful patrons. The backbone of these sessions, also the regulars. See you, Anne, another Anne. See you, Tosca. See you. Good to see Anita and everybody else who joined. Hello, Susie. Hello, Matt, Jill, Heather. Very good to see you here. Today's session, I decided to make very, very practical and basically hit in the middle of it all, which is how our values clash with the demands of the modern world. I think I'm not the only one who can feel that things in the world in general are not so great. So I'm raising my hand to acknowledging that things as I see, with including all the advancements of medicine and technology, are not that great. And please do raise your hand if you feel that in your personal experience, things are a bit off in general. Not for you personally, I'm sure you are great, but you have the sense that something is clashing, that something is not fully aligned. Maybe this is the best way of putting it, because this is not about saying things are bad, but there is a misalignment. Please do raise your hand if you feel that things are slightly misaligned. Hello, Karen. Yeah, Jenna and Jill. Thank you. Heather. Thank you for your participation, all of you, by the way. I want to recognize that this is interactive session. For those of you who are joining for the first time, we will have a bit of discussion and then we'll meditate together to put all the information that we received into practice. So knowledge and practice or experience equals wisdom. Yeah, Parvana, Anita. For Diane feels more like a big time misaligned. Yeah, I don't believe I am very much off the mark here. I'm not saying something controversial, or I'm not bringing up something that is, oh, what are you talking about? Everything is peachy. Everything is just great. Things has been misaligned for a while, and as a result, we can see it in our lives. We can see that simply by you being here, your presence on Insight Timer, a platform that is devoted to meditation and contemplation, and for many, a way to shift out of the ordinary. And what is ordinary? Ordinary, it's the common understanding. It's the societal values. Things that, again, has not been working for us that well. So I am not trying to really, again, be controversial, but simply bring an obvious truth that for so many of us has been determining how we feel. And as it comes to myself, and again, I will ask you for your contribution, raising your hands, I'm in the process of seeking and aligning myself with I don't know what, but something that is far away from what I see in the world. The technological progress that we put on a pedestal, the economical advancements that we need more of better quality, more intellect, more technology. It seems to me, in my experiences, and again, feel free to express your own opinions about it, that something is amiss. That we are moving away from, and now to the topic of our session, of our inner values. And Diane, you start to feel like the odd man out with the people you interact with in everyday life because I think so differently. I'm grateful for CLC for this and so many reasons. And that's why we are here, Diane. Diane, I truly, this is you put it beautifully. It feels like we are surrounded more and more the people that are dominated with the mind and something that has been put on them, and they never questioned if that works for them. Hi, Seth. Good to see you here. Yeah, Susie, Jenna, Hillary. My values around the social good and commitment to humanity are needing much more intentional tending these days. Yes, because it's not natural if you go into kind of ordinary, or not ordinary, but ordinary is not a bad word. We associate ordinary as something negative. Hello, V. I see you here. We associate the word ordinary as something, in our world as something negative, but it's not. Ordinary means normal, default. And that's what I'm referring to. Maybe default is a better word to describe. When we move to default mode, and that intentionally I make a connection with the default mode network, which is the network in our brain that generates this kind of attracts this kind of thinking, this kind of worldview, if you will. If we move into that, we feel very deeply, very viscerally misalignment with who we are on the level of the values and how the world around us operates. And again, you being here, being present here is the evidence in itself, because you didn't decide to watch news, right? You did not decide to watch yet another movie from Hollywood that tries to portray the world in a way that is not. You came here. And that need to be here, partially, comes from that sense of gentle misalignment. You looking for something else, even though you may not know what that thing is. But I want to suggest to you, even if you not truly understand and know what the thing is, there is a part of you, and I will refer to that part of you in a moment, seeks being explored and being presented, coming to the forefront of your experience, rather being hidden in the background and kind of percolating in there, right? There's something in the background. And today I want to present to you two not really alternatives, but two approaches, two worldviews with which I hope you'll resonate. Linda, all the bad othering, as Tara Brach calls it, in the world is very troubling. Yeah, Tara Brach certainly talks about it. I'm not original here in any sense. I'm simply reminding you of things that are already present here. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're simply putting in front things that has been always there. And now we're trying to put a careful eye and shed a light on what is already happening, right? And the first approach that I personally have been cultivating for a long time in different ways is the approach of the mind. And approach of the mind, as my experience teaches me and science shows, when I see science, certain scientific research put out the structure of the brain and how the brain and as a result of it, the mind functions, is very much aligned with this approach. And this approach is fixed. This approach is, first of all, fixed. These are the qualities of it. It's purely based on our past experience. There's nothing new in it. And I want to put that into that thought or that hypothesis I want to put out for you for testing right here, right now. Consider any thought you had today, retrospectively. Pick one. Maybe thought that was troubling you. These are the easiest to pick. Or any thought that comes to your mind right now. And ask yourself, is that thought an original one? Are you the first person in the history, or even past few days, in this very moment even, who are thinking this thought? Or is it perhaps a thought that you thought about before and some other people were thinking the same thought before? And please let me know your observation. Do you think that you are original in any thought that, and again, I want to highlight these words, came to your mind? This is an English expression, but I think it's very suitable in this very moment. The thought that you had, that came to your mind, is it original? Or is it something that already has been in the collective consciousness and collective mind before? And the reason why I'm asking this question is to point out towards that the mind approach that is so prevalent in our society. We simply accepted certain time of thinking and certain mindset, if you will, from our parents, from our friends, from our community, that we accepted, and we try very hard, for many of us, we try very hard to make work. And what happens along the line of the fixed mindset, certain things out of many. You have to make a lot of money. You have to have possessions. You have to interact with people. You have to have a job. You have to have an education. I'm just mentioning a few obvious ones that are so deeply ingrained in our society and our thinking that we never question them. And when we question them, and this is the more important part, and we say, and there's something in you, and now the individual part comes. On the individual level, you say, well, actually, I don't need it. The second you utter this sentence, I don't need it, your mind creates havoc. Your mind rebels and resists and say, what is wrong with you? How dare you oppose something that has been established for such a long time, something upon which our civilization almost is built? Who are you and how dare you to be something else than you've been taught all your life? And what happens as a result of that resistance? Shame, guilt, the sense of not enoughness, coming back to Tara Brach, that one of you mentioned, right? And what we do when we feel a sense of not enoughness, the sense of guilt and shame, we're trying to fix it. We're trying to join once again the so-called rat race and we go back to the common thinking, to the original thinking, so to speak. And yeah, I have to do it. There's no other way. I have to be part of the race, even though I'm very, very so tired, sick and tired of this whole thing. There's no other way. Because the second I oppose it, the guilt, the shame of the sense of not enoughness comes knocking back on my door, and I don't want it. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to think this way. I want to avoid it at all costs. Does it sound familiar? Is there sound? Is the voice in your head that sounds something like that? Something I just voiced? Feel free to raise your hand, even if you're afraid, even if you maybe not even raise your hand, but think to yourself, if that on some level, this is something that you thought once or twice as a result of being a long life subscriber. We love this. This is very recent development, being a subscriber. I want you to subscribe to my Facebook page, to my Insight Timer profile. I'll ask you later. Go to my Insight Timer profile and click the follow button and subscribe so you can receive more of the information of that kind. Right? I'm no different. I'm also part of the system. The only thing different here is as we had sessions, if you remember sessions over the past 2 weeks, I was talking about the movie Matrix and how to get out of the Matrix. Because that the mind approach I'm discussing right now is Matrix. The metaphor, the popular metaphor for this approach is the Matrix. Matrix that has been created for us. We did not start the Matrix. We're simply contributing as characters in the Matrix. And my job here is to point out the alternative, to point out something that you are already sensing, perhaps a reason why you are here, that maybe there's a different way. Or if not completely different, a way that we can integrate all this mind stuff and include maybe something else. And this is the something else part. The something else that I've been talking about, that is always in the background. It's always there, but hidden because it's not cultivated enough. It's your awareness in this very moment. Not sometime in the future or in the past. There's no awareness there. You can move your awareness there because your awareness, it's a characteristic and property of only this present moment. Awareness does not exist in the past in the same way as I love using that metaphor. You cannot breathe in the past and you cannot breathe in the future. You only breathe. Your breath exists in this very moment. That's why in meditation practices, breath is used as such a powerful anchor, because breath is it is in a sense representation of the awareness, because it shares same characteristics. And now, on the one hand side, you have the mind approach, something that's been given to you, something you've been born into. You've been given by your parents, friends, and the society, and so on and so forth. You know the drill. On the other hand, is something that you came here with, that precedes and it's prior the development of the mind, is your awareness. Because you came here as an awareness. You incarnated awareness into the human body, not other way around. Classic approach or maybe metaphor when people ask, oh, do we have a soul? No, we don't have a soul. The soul has us. This is similar. You don't have awareness. You are the awareness. And now, obviously, you can ask, well, okay, that's so nice and easy to say, but how can I get there? And this is the interesting part. You never had to go anywhere. It was always here. It was always in the background. And our job today is not discovering awareness, but bringing it to the forefront from the background and spending some more time there. As opposed, if you ask me, so where am I spending time right now? Well, you're spending time focusing your awareness purely on your mind, on all the struggles, the challenges that mind, as a matter of fact, created. And coming back to the beginning of our session, where we're talking about all the struggles and misalignment. What is misaligned with what? The desires of you on the fundamental level that you come here with, incarnate the human body. The misalignment of that with what is given to you as the quote unquote the world, or the world mindset, worldview, if you will. That's a misalignment. That's what you feel when I ask you at the very beginning, what is misaligned? What's quote unquote wrong with the world that we created? That's the discrepancy. And now, I'll ask you once again the difficult question. If you drop the thinking, if you for one moment take a leap, courageous leap for that, and put yourself back what you really desire, what you really want, not from the level of the mind, but from the level of who you are, which is that awareness when you close your eyes and finally recognize you don't have to breathe that fast and move that fast and slow down your body. What are desires that flow out of there? And this is a practical question to you. What comes when there are no longer problems to solve? We already have unlimited bank account, security, safety, people that are kind around you. You don't have to strive. You don't have to prove yourself. What comes then? And feel free to give your answer. But for me, after hundreds of thousands of hours of contemplating this in a meditative space, when I'm dropping out the mind, or attempting to drop it, let's face it, it's not that easy. After so many thousands of hours of practicing my mind, what comes forth is these two words: freedom and peace. Freedom and peace are coming forth as the fundamental characteristics that are always and always have been in my awareness. And now the next question, how to combine the two? How to combine the two, right? How can I use my mind to enlive freedom and peace in my life, as opposed to getting a job, achieving a goal, going places, entertaining people, pleasing people, and along those lines, feeling misaligned or feeling this or feeling that. And that's what comes up for me. And now what we are doing, what we'll be doing, what we are already doing, but what I will invite you to look into in the meditative space, to ask yourself, when you slow down, when you once again take the leap out of the mind into the space of awareness, what are the values, what are the qualities, what are the aspects, choose your word, coming out of there. For you, again, not you as a Diane, Karen, Heather, Jenna, Anne, Seth, Linda. Not as a name, not as a function, not as a occupation, but for you. You that came here before your mind was structured in that way. Because that information and that quote unquote desire, it's still there. Perhaps, only perhaps, you've been keeping it in a background for so long that you have already forgotten. But the misalignment that I mentioned at the beginning is still there. That misalignment is your reminder that the answer is worth discovering for yourself. Because ultimately, in today's session, what I'm asking you to is simply to use clear eyes to look at the set of your values that you subscribe to and decide for yourself, where are they coming from and are they serving you? The one way that it's so common in our world is choosing your values based on your mind, based on all the things that you were taught, all the things that might not be yours, you've been given, and make your decision, so to speak, on that. Something that you developed, or look back into awareness and see for yourself what already have been here. Before you incarnated into a human body, you came here with it on a much deeper, much fundamental level. Is there something there? And in order to do it, simply, if I say it to you this way, it sounds good, it sounds great, and then you close your eyes and you try to drop in, so to speak, and the flood of thoughts come rushing through. And the more you try to drop in awareness, the more thoughts come through because you trained yourself, we all trained ourselves into the art of thinking. And certainly not in the art of being. All right, for Karen, that's peace and harmony. For Diane, it's presence and connection with myself and with others. And even based on example of Karen and Diane, by the way, thank you for sharing, you can see these are much more fundamental. These are much more, I don't know what the word to use, but these are qualities that go beyond something that divides us, beyond the race, beyond the culture, beyond the religion, beyond the state of your bank account and your profession, right? Any person that you can think of may want to desire peace and harmony. Any person, regardless, can desire presence and connection. As a matter of fact, we all do. We just deluding ourselves that in order to have peace and harmony, presence and connection, we need material stuff. We need goods. We need money. We need also many different things that only, and this is one of the things that are being taught, once you get there, once you get to your retirement and you worked all your life so hard, only then you'll be able to start enjoying it and start thinking about things like awareness and meditation and how to live your life. But you have to pay your dues. This is one of the most common concepts that I came across, that we have to pay our dues somehow, some way. We have a debt to life that we have to pay until before we start living it. Where's that debt? And let's say all the banking system preys on that. Well, since you already think you're in debt to life, we're going to give you another debt. Since you're already so familiar with the concept of the level of the mind, it's so natural for you to be in debt and paying off your dues. We're going to add one another on the intellectual level, since already on the deeper level you are there. For Parvana, good health and strength as I age. Yeah. Thank you, Parvana. So yeah, think to yourself, where are you coming from? Or where are your values are coming from? What gives you the sense of direction throughout every ordinary day, even now? Is it coming from your mind? Or perhaps it's coming from a different place. And you are the only one who can make that answer for yourself. I am not trying to suggest to you that one is better than the other, because that's not my job. My job is to present for you choices, or highlight the choices, because they always been there. Again, I'm going to highlight that 1,000,000 times like a broken record. I'm not saying anything innovative here. I am simply serving as a reminder to every single of you, every single one of you who's sitting in front of the screen and listening to these words. Know thyself. Nobody else can know you for you. Only you and your awareness can discover what the meaning of life is. See, deep philosophical questions that we avoid to ask because there are things to do on the level of the mind, aren't they? So perhaps now, without further talking, further intellectualizing, let us attempt together to, as I said, drop in and see if we can bring the background that always has been there to the foreground. And my job will be to facilitate that transition. And I'll do my best to do so. And I'll be reaching myself into awareness upon which we are all connected. That's why my guidance, usually when people say they enjoy my guidance, because I basically brought up from the awareness upon which we are all connected forth. So what you hear, what you've heard, what you will hear, most likely are the words that you already connected with, because they're coming from the place that you come from on the fundamental level. And this is my job here. Simply connect with you on this more fundamental level. And as always, I'll ask for help, Peter Helland and his wonderful music. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music, by the way. Yeah, thank you. Oh, hello, Ardalan. I haven't realized you are here. Good to see you. Yeah, Karen, Ann, Evie, Zaza, Jenna, thank you. See, I even prepared a special screen to start meditation. By the way, if you have any questions or comments with respect to what we discussed today, there'll be time at the end to do so. But right now, as I said, let us sit back. begin this meditation by acknowledging that you are awareness built into a human body, and not human body generating awareness. Your brain has ability to receive thoughts and to process them in a way that is based on your worldview, on the knowledge that have been given to you throughout your life, by your friends, by your parents, by your society. And on the level of awareness that precedes your physical existence, you are something else. You are more. And in this meditation, I invite you to discover for yourself what this means. And what is helpful to tune in and to drop in is to make sure that needs of the physical body are met. So make sure that you feel comfortable and at ease, that you rest your feet on the floor. That represents your grounding and stability, that you put your hands in your lap. That represents your openness and curiosity towards this very present moment. And sit upright in a way that creates a straight line in which the entire universe passes through you and offers its wisdom. And simply see for yourself in this very moment, what is the first thing, first thought, first awareness that appears on the screen, so to speak. You don't have to wait for it. It's already there. If it is a thought, accept it as it is. If it is a physical sensation, that's normal too. If anything else, that's okay. Allow all these experiences to be present in your awareness as they are, without trying to change them according to the needs of your mind, but simply allow them to be. That is the quality of your awareness. Nothing is good or bad, positive and negative in awareness. It is your mind judgment that makes it so. So every time you encounter thought, sensation, anything, use your awareness to observe it. moment by moment, one breath after another. Opening yourself more and more. Allowing, giving permission. These are words describing the access points, the doorways towards awareness. The awareness that you are. The awareness that you have been always on the fundamental level before the human incarnation and after. So right now, I will allow you to explore on your own, uniquely, individually you, in awareness, allowing everything that comes to it, everything that will be displayed on it. And I will be with you, by your side, to hold the space and bring you back when the time is up. And now it is time to return and simply shift your awareness from its presence to your physical senses, from resting in awareness to engaging it with the most fundamental aspect of the human physical body, which are the senses that allow us to explore the physicality of things, starting with the field of vision that you perceive through your eyes, your hearing that allow you to receive my words, the sound of music, any other external sounds, senses of taste and smell, even though most likely not very present in this very moment. And finally, the sense of touch that connects you with the shape of your body and how your body connects with the space around you, with the objects, sensing the room around you. This is you moving intentionally your awareness and connecting with the senses, giving them life and receiving them, this time consciously, with intention and purpose. And in the same manner, you can move your awareness at any given moment to any activity, any creative endeavor. You can direct your mind through awareness to whatever you desire, to everything that support your values and who you are on the more fundamental level. And before we conclude, let us express our gratitude for this understanding, for the fact that we have ability to shift and move our awareness consciously in this very moment. And this in itself, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And now to finish off, simply take one conscious breath in awareness, breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And also consciously open your eyes and welcome back. Thank you for meditating with me. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for connecting all together as a collective in awareness. And please share with me how it felt, what came out of there, if you will. For me, as always, is the sense of clarity and sense of aliveness. What are the words that describing what you discovered? And remember, the words are only a surface description. They do not give away the entire experience you had, but we use words in this session. And in your case, I'm using my words and you use only the characters typed on your device so I can see them on the screen. Nevertheless, they are very important. Jenna, loving kindness and gratitude. That's wonderful. There's a sense, I think one of the, I would say, most important qualities that come out of awareness is the sense of gratitude that we are here. Sense of gratitude for things that very often we take for granted. And that's why awareness has such a tremendous transformative power towards our decisions and our actions, because it shows us that the same actions that we take can have very different repercussions. For Diane, lots of swirling thought tonight, but tapping into the awareness was lovely. Thank you, Diane, for being here. And this is a good example of that awareness, even though it's always there in the background, it's not always that easily accessible. It's like a, treasure that we have to very often dig for. Not because it's difficult, but because the nature of our lives has been focused on other things for so long that it's natural that it will take some time to go back. That my only hope is that you find for yourself that this process of digging out and discovery is worth it. That, like Jenna, you find loving kindness and gratitude for the trip itself. For Karen, relaxed. Ardalana, practicing feeling inner peace despite external instability. So this is it, Ardalana. Thank you for sharing that, because I think this is, you expressed how most of us feel most of the time. There is that was the topic for today. There is the anxiety, stress, tribulations, and disturbance on the surface of the ocean. And usually that's where our focus resides. And we're going down. We're going beneath the surface. And that's not easy, once again. So kudos to you for your tremendous effort of going there. And release and calm, open ocean feeling. Oh yeah, before I must have seen with the corner of my eyes what Anne said about the ocean, because I just used that metaphor. Thank you, Anne, for being here. So thank you for today's session. Thank you for your presence. As always, we will continue discovering different aspects of our awareness. We will continue on the path of transformation of our mind through awareness into the next session. So feel free to, we'll be here next week, the same place, the same time. Also, for those of you who want to revisit our previous sessions, they all available on my YouTube channel, because I stream simultaneously. I know a lot of those things for those of you who joined maybe later and missed a few things, missed meditation or missed the introductory part. You may want to check it again. So they are all there available for you to see and to revisit. But most importantly, if you found something useful for yourself in this community, in our Conscious Living Collective, come again. You are most welcome. And for now, I want to wish you a wonderful night or glorious day, wherever you are, depends on your time zone. And as always, I look forward to our next session and to be with you again next week. I will leave you with Peter Helland and his wonderful music. Have a lovely day, lovely night. Until next time.